Ric Klass, author of Excuse Me for a Living and Man Overboard. Ric produced and directed 2 feature films. We had the honor to interview this humble entrepreneur. His diverse background includes teaching high school math in the Bronx and teaching entrepreneurship at Georgetown University. He was founder and chairman of a private equity firm and head of corporate finance for a Wall Street investment banker. Look for Excuse Me for a Living on nationwide cable TV, video on demand, iTunes, and other major platforms. Join us. I'm Audrey Johnson on the Audrey Johnson Show. We are so honored to be standing here with Ric Klass. He's the director, the film producer on the most amazing film. The buzz is already out there, Excuse Me for Living. What a great time to come out with such an amazing title, movie. What do you want the audience and everybody around the world to know?
Well, I'd like them to know that they can see it everywhere in the United States. It's on every major cable TV network. It's on iTunes, on Amazon.com, so they can see it no matter where they are. It was so wonderful having Jerry Stiller and all the internationally recognizable stars. It was such a treat and such a surprise, too, for a relatively low-budget film to have all those stars.
Where did this idea came from, and what inspired you to a low budget and to make this happen? And then you called
Well, the screenplay actually is based upon my novel, which was published just a couple days ago by Arcade Publishing. It's available on Amazon.com. So I wrote the novel, then I wrote a screenplay based upon it, and I have experience of getting things done, and so I decided to make the movie and produce it. So as far as I know, I'm the first novelist, writer, sole producer, director of feature film ever, as far as
Wow, well, they say you always want to be the first. Always the first. And you have to surround yourself with the right people. Isn't that correct?
Oh, I have such wonderful people. The cast is so marvelous. They made, I'm proud of the screenplay, but each member of the cast made it so much better than I had written it, and so it's really even better than I imagined.
So what did you do before? You obviously...
I've had a dozen careers, really.
Oh, you have?
I was an engineer. I was a college professor.
He's an engineer.
I was a high school math teacher in the Bronx. I was a consultant for the government. I was an entrepreneur. I had several companies. I was on Wall Street. I had a private equity firm.
What is it about you that has made you extraordinary, Ric? There has to be something. What is it?
I don't know that I'm extraordinary, but I am ambitious, and I am diligent. I work every day, day and night.
You don't stop.
I don't stop.
You love what you do.
I'm in heaven, really.
You're in heaven. How did you find Donna, and how long did you know Donna, and why Donna?
Oh, I was so lucky to meet Donna because she did such a wonderful job for me casting. I have to confess that I really did know the younger cast. I wasn't familiar with them, but Donna has such a great, Donna McKenna has such a great memory, and she introduced me to all the younger cast, and I was so fortunate to have such experienced daytime TV stars in my film. It was a wonderful thing. Tom Pelfrey is brilliant, Melissa Archer, Evita Cruz, David Gregory, Kevin Brown, who's .com, in 30 Rock. And so to have such a wonderful cast is really a wonderful thing.
And Donna mentioned to me you wanted a blonde. And Melissa showed up, and that was a funny story. What was going through your mind when you saw this red?
Well, it was from my novel, and so I was trying to basically cast it from my novel, which the screenplay is adapted from my novel, and that's just how I imagined it. But Donna's very forceful, and she's a powerful entity in her own right, and she convinced me to cast Melissa. I'm so happy I did because Melissa's so wonderful in the role.
What's next for you?
Well, I have 3 other screenplays that I'm seeking, to put it euphemistically, seeking executive producer for. Okay. And I'm writing a novel and 2 other screenplays at the same time. So this is why I am working all the time. I'm raising funds, writing, and still working on this film too.
I'm Audrey Johnson on the Audrey Johnson Show. You guys can be hearing a lot about Ric because this guy knows how to pick winners, knows how to pick the right people. Standing next to me is the lovely Rachel, and she's going to be working with Ric on his next movie. Share a little bit about the next upcoming movie.
Well, we have 3 in development, and 2 are romantic comedies, and 1 is a romantic thriller. And the scripts are all very good. I'm a little biased because I like Ric's writing. And we're in late development, so we're basically, as soon as the financing is sealed, we go into production, whichever one pops first.
Wow. So what do you get involved in the finances, or you work more on the creative side?
I do a little bit of everything. It's a combination of knowing all the aspects of production and keeping in mind the big picture, from preparation to publicity and marketing and all the steps in between, and then knowing what I don't know as well and how to delegate.
So tell us a little bit about you. How did you get so blessed to be involved with such things?
Well, I started out as a writer, and I've written some comic books, as well as been a comic book publisher and editor.
Wow. Did you know I love comic books as a kid? I'm from South America. I love comic books.
Okay, well, if you go to my website, bestfriendsproductions.com, and click on one of the comic book covers, there is an online preview of some of the comics that I've worked on. I started teaming up with people who have different production skills, and Ric is actually the second romantic comedy male writer that I've worked with.
I'm Audrey Johnson on the Audrey Johnson Show. She is fabulous. This is the casting, Donna, McKenna, and her lovely daughter.
And I said, let me read your script and let's see what we could do. And I read the script and I said, wow, this is really good. I says, do you trust me? And he said, yeah. I said, I think I could put together some amazing actors for this movie. We might need a little more money. So he said, okay, dear, let's see who you can get. And Jerry was the first one to sign on. And well, he was the first one to sign on, but Robert Vaughn also showed interest right away. And then after Jerry, Robert Vaughn signed on, I read the script, and there were many, many young men that wanted to play this role of Dan Toppler. And I read it, and I knew Tom Pelfrey's work from Guiding Light and from his theater company, and I just visioned him in the script, and I really wanted him for it. In the book, it calls for a blonde, so Ric wanted a blonde, and Melissa was the only redhead that they submitted, and all the blondes in New York and California submitted, and I'm like, you know what, I'm bringing her in. And I'll never forget, we're in the audition room, and there's all the girls waiting, and Ric, he's so proper, you've spoke to him, and he's so educated. He comes into me, he goes, Donna, dear, like this, he goes, there's a redhead in the lobby. He goes, that's not for us, right? Because you know that character's a blonde. And I said, yeah, she's a redhead, she's ours, and she's going to get the job. And she did. And we were really excited, so.
But Donna is the person to get to know. If you want to boost your career and take it to the next level, this is the woman. Who do you go after? Who you want to appeal to bring money? Because you need money right now, right? Is that what it is?
We're raising money
So who you want to appeal to as we appeal to? Let's send a request for money.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
Right.
Well, it's we're looking for people that would be comfortable with making an investment in a feature film, and we have. I am unusual in that I have a very long business experience, which is not that typical for filmmakers. So I've had my own companies. I've been an entrepreneur. I taught in the business school at Georgetown University, so that's unusual. So I taught there for a number of years, and so we're looking for people that would be comfortable in investing in a feature film, and as a businessman, I think we know how to make it attractive and minimize the downside and maximize the upside.